Welcome back to the Give Them Lala podcast. I've got my left and right hand with me today. Easton is fresh out the hurricane.
Good morning.
And the earthquake.
It was a wild weekend. Wild and wet.
Wet and wild.
My favorite type of weekend.
Is that why you're wearing that?
Yeah, you don't know when it's coming back.
You don't.
You got to be prepared.
You're used to like blizzards though, Easton.
Yeah, that's why I have a face mask.
I love how your hair is so thick, though, that you can see it under the hat. It makes me so happy.
Yeah,
like
you
can
have like
see
a
the hair.
bulbous head.
But sometimes when I put it back in a bun now, the front goes up, and I look like I'm part of the polygamy tribe. With the little bumpets.
Oh, yeah. Hey, the higher the bump, closer to God, baby.
I know. I'm getting it big, too.
Jessica, how are you doing this morning?
I'm good. This morning was wild. I'll put it in the ache of the week, but good.
Oh, I love your ache of the week.
Same.
So this weekend we also, Bernice, Easton, you want to take over his dog who had the cancer?
It never ends.
It never ends.
It really never ends.
After the party. After the party. Wait, was it after the party?
It was
Friday night.
Friday
night. The party was Saturday.
Okay.
What did we do Friday?
You wanted to go out.
Well, yeah. No, but Friday I was with you all day.
You were with me all day, and then you were going to go out, and then I get a phone call, and Nisi had her stitches removed.
Yeah.
Easton's pit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Lisa had it done, and the place was like, yeah, she can go back to her regular daily activity. Don't worry. She's great. So I'm like, all right. So Friday, she gets them out in the morning. I come home Friday night. I'm getting ready to go out, and I just lift her up to see if everything is all right. Her hole, like the wound, is just a giant gaping hole.
No.
Gaping.
No,
Like
it's open?
Oh, yeah.
It's open.
Bloody?
Oh,
Open.
yeah. Oh.
Sorry, I'm not laughing at the hole.
No, it
I'm
was still funny. We started yelling at each other. It was a whole mess at the house.
So he calls us. He's like, you need to come over. One of her wounds is open. And Lisa.
Mom goes, send a picture. I go, just get the fuck over here.
I was like, no pictures. We dealt with this with the cat. Remember? My mom was like, FaceTime me.
Right.
So I could tell in Easton's voice. I was like, we're coming. So we go over. I pop the door open a little. Easton goes in. But I was like, the only thing I was asking you guys, I was like, is it bleeding? Is there blood?
All I see.
Blood.
So like,
blood. Because that's my biggest fear. I don't do well with blood. That's why I could never kill anyone.
Oh.
Well, that's not the only reason. My conscience wouldn't allow it.
The blood
but also
was really
blood,
good to
I'd
her.
pass out. You
And
know,
then, yeah, they'd
pass out next to the body, and they'd be like, "Well, we know who did it."
But no, so Lisa walks in the house, and all I hear is there blood? And just a hand around the door with just a box of like bandages, gauze, and she goes, "Is it? How bloody?"
And Anissa said, "There's no blood."
I go,
so
"There's no blood," but it was so weird. So it's like.
It was in the shape of a vagina.
Okay.
Like this.
Okay.
And it's like no blood coming out, but it's just moving around her body as she moves. And it's under her armpit, so it's a very high mobility area.
Was she crying?
No,
she
acted
didn't even
totally
know. She's
normal.
like panting and stuff. And like, so now we're trying to put gauze on. It's in an area that doesn't like.
Doesn't hold.
stay.
Yeah. No, it doesn't hold.
You can't put Band-Aids on dog hair. So Lauren grows a pair of balls. It was crazy. She went
grows some ovaries.
grow some
I grew
ovaries.
ovaries because I never. It had to have been the Unisom.
Oh yeah, she was one Unison. Beat.
I was one, and it was kicking in once I got there.
Hey.
You know, I was like, we're floating.
So
Easton's trying to wrap it, and keep in mind, y'all, now that I have a kid, like I kick into high gear when I need to, right?
Right.
Like there has been one time every mom has to call the ER or whatever, take their kid to the ER. I've had to do that before with Ocean, and I like Lisa freezes up, right? I kick into like robot. I'm like, this is where we are. This is the code to get into the gate. This is where you're going to park. You're going to take a left, then a right, and then you're going to go up the elevator. I'm like very into it, right?
Okay.
So the bandage falls off, and I see it, and it doesn't bother me, which is strange because usually, like I said, I would pass out or black out. And so I'm trying to wrap it, and Easton's holding the dog, but he doesn't think I'm doing it correctly, so he gets all tense, and he's like, Lauren, this is how you do it. And I go, shut the fuck up. I was like,
hold on. In my defense, I'm looking at the wound, holding her butt and holding her head so she doesn't move. And they're just wrapping, and like the wound is here, and her ass is here, and they're like rapping over
Easton,
here.
you're
and I'm like,
such a damn lie. You're on the other side of the dog. I'm
looking over.
I'm
She's a
face
foot
to
tall.
face with the wound, all right? We're up close and personal.
Yummy.
I take the gauze and I'm wrapping it to perfection, right? I'm wrapping on both sides, on top of it, because I know it is in a place that is very hard to like make it stay there, right? She's gonna be moving around. Easton loses his mind. I'm kicking into high gear, right? Robotic. And I wrap that fucking wound like a champion. And then I calm the room down. All right, we have this under control. I said, what we need to do is get butterfly tape from CVS. I'm in a bathrobe, you guys. Okay? I look like most people in LA at this hour on 3rd Street.
She fit right in.
Perfect.
Right in.
You wouldn't have
we
thought
go
anything
in,
different.
we clear out the place, right? I get all sorts of little bandages, whatever. I'm feeling myself, Dr. Lala. We're walking out
After
of
spending
CVS.
$80 on shit.
Yeah, I
right?
spent $80. This guy eating a chicken wing. I walk past him. We make eye contact as I pass. All of a sudden, the chicken wing comes flying past my head. And I look behind me like, what? And he goes like this to me. With that noise. I die.
Wait, if that isn't the most boss way to try and pick up a chick, whipping a chicken wing at her head and then be like, yeah, there's more where that came from, babe.
If we didn't have to get back to Bernice, it may have worked.
I
for
would have
us.
hollered. I definitely.
We just had other issues.
I would have pulled up. Oh my gosh. So that was our night to pre-hurricane and earthquake.
What did you say to him? Were you like,
I just smiled. Like,
Oh, you smiled.
It would have worked.
I was kind of flattered. I was like, aw. Like,
It's-
you want to get someone's attention that bad, you're willing to throw an animal leg at them?
right,
Or a wing,
and it still
an
had meat
animal
on
part?
it. And I don't waste a chicken wing.
did you
So
pick it up
Easton
and eat
picked it up and ate it.
Oh my God. Is Bernice, right? Or you call her Bernie?
I call it whatever. Yeah.
Okay.
Bernice,
Is she
Bernie, Bernie.
okay? Is
Yeah,
she
she's good.
okay? So
we had to
Lala,
staple
Dr.
it.
Lala.
No, we.
You had to
I mean,
staple it?
yeah. I mean, it was an open wound, so I had to go back to the vet the next
Okay.
day.
We
and now-
called the ER and
Yeah.
they said we're with a critical patient right now, so like we can't take care of your animal. And
Right.
the wound wasn't like life threatening, so we took her Easton took her
Yeah.
the next day and
we
they
just like
stapled it up.
wrapped it, made sure it was good, put a
Mm.
shirt on her, and then now she's got staples.
But so
Oh.
she's okay. She's
Yeah.
better.
She's
She's
good.
better,
She's
all
good.
is well.
All is well,
She's
Dr.
playing
Lala.
around.
Easton's traumatized with animal
I know. It's
issues
just
that have
never
taken place.
Are you ever gonna get a break, Easton?
No, and then Lisa, she was like, "Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna take Bella in until like we need to." And I was like, "Until you need to, she needs to right
Yeah.
now." Like,
Bella
run
is
into the
like
cat.
fully blind.
She is.
Yeah, she sat in the elevator the other day. We all got off and she was just staring in the corner. And I was like, Bella, we've all left. And she like turns around kind of. And I'm like, oh, sweet
She's-
baby.
Baby Bella. She's so cute.
She's all
She's
right.
so cute. Okay, so we were all fully prepared for the hurricane. We ordered Saturday night. I told my mom, I was like, we need to order groceries because God forbid this really is what they're saying it's going to be. We need food. And she was like, well, what kind of food? And I was like, healthy shit that we can survive on. I was like, berries, avocado, all of the things, spinach, right?
Right.
Which is so not like me to get any of those things at the grocery store.
No.
Like maybe for Ocean, I'll get a few things, but like to feed the whole fam, not at all.
Yeah.
We have so many groceries, and I have to say I was a little underwhelmed by the storm.
I
Were
know.
you?
Well,
I mean,
In my area.
in your area,
'Cause
which
it-
is shocking because you felt, and we'll get to it. I think we'll get to the earthquake. But I was, rain-wise, I wasn't underwhelmed. I did think there was going to be more winds and stuff. And this morning when I drove through Los Feliz, that is definitely flooded in those areas. But yeah, it was not what I expected it to be. Yet I did come across memes that were like, the entire U.S. It's like, California, hunker down. And then it's like Californians and people are like on the beach and they're surfing.
They're like,
and
oh my God, we're going to get some rain. That's so cute and cozy.
I enjoyed it. I liked the
Which is
rainfall.
exactly what I felt. I
Yeah.
was like, when I heard this was coming, I was like, oh, my favorite kind of weather. And Ariana, who's from Florida is like, well, we should probably like not treat it that way. This
Right.
is like a real thing that's coming. Then it switched to like a tropical storm. And then I was watching Justin Martindale. He's a comedian. He's always on Heather McDonald's podcast. He's outside and he's like, I'm very underwhelmed. I was ready for my windows to break. I was ready to be
Oh, I
cute
thought-
and cozy. And this is what you deliver. Tropical storm, nothing. It's like a light drizzle where he is.
Wow. So you guys were really, because I didn't think it was going to be, you thought there was going to be like window breaks and like trees falling
Well,
over.
I mean, you hear that a
Hurricane.
hurricane's coming, and I've seen Florida during a hurricane, and I've seen a lot of other hurricanes, not just in Florida, but they seem to hit there a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anywhere on that coast. And I was like, they're preparing us for that.
Yeah. I do have to say, with your food choice, though, I feel like the hurricane is the one time you don't want to get the healthy shit. You want to get the stuff that's going to last
Right.
in your shelf,
Frozen
in
goods.
your frozen goods or on your shelves. Not even frozen
we had
goods,
enough
though.
of that.
Oh, you did? Because if the
Yeah.
electricity goes out, you want to get canned goods, you want to get Cheez-Its, chips.
Oh, we had all of that already, babe.
Okay, so you're covered.
I was like, we need something healthy, to like, for the first couple days,
Right.
whatever.
Right.
Anyway, sitting on the toilet, Lisa's taking the dogs out, and all of a sudden, the building starts a shaking.
I don't
I
know.
was like, what the fuck is happening right now? And I'm watching the plants all move. And so I get up, I fly up, I hold the rest of my potty, fly up, pants off, and I'm standing at the doorway like this. Oh my God, what is happening? And Lisa walks in the door and she's like, what are you doing? I was like,
I'm the same. I didn't
was
even
an
know what was
earthquake.
happening.
because then the phone starts going off, like prepare,
Yes, did you see
prepare.
it?
Yes,
But
I
you
saw
you
it.
saw it after the earthquake?
No, it was happening in real time.
Oh,
And then you
The
got the
thing was
alert.
going. I didn't see it. My phone was over there, and it's
Oh.
doing
'Cause-
the thing while we're moving, and I'm in the doorway, and Lisa's didn't feel a thing.
Neither did I. When I was walking, I think I was walking when it happened, and
Yeah.
I got the alert. And I'm not gonna lie, I was so sick of getting flood warning alerts that I assumed, and I just clicked it to shut it up, and I didn't even know. Landon, I walked back, and my roommate was like, "Did you feel that earthquake?" I go, "Didn't even know when it happened."
You didn't feel it at
No,
all.
I thought that I thought that like the emergency was
was a flood.
like a flood again. I was like, "Ah, we know."
See, I heard West Hollywood felt it more. I was out to lunch in Glendale and
What?
Yeah, I was-
Yesterday?
yes.
You
I was,
went out?
I sure did. I sure did. I went out to lunch, but listen to this. I'm so scared of earthquakes, the thought of them. So I'm out to lunch with Anna, and she's sitting across from me. And just so our friends know, Anna's like very calm. She doesn't show a lot of emotion, very collected. So we get the alert, and it says, earthquake coming, like hide under the table or something.
Duck
And
and
I'm
cover.
like, we gotta get down. Like we're at lunch and I'm like, everybody, and I'm just like, and she's like, you need to chill, like relax. And I'm like, no, it's coming. Like which table? I'm looking at the tables and she's like, relax. And the people in the restaurant are looking at their phones and then looking at me like, girl, you're fine. And then so I sat there, I had the table picked out that I was gonna hide
Get
under
under.
once it hit. And I'm waiting and I'm like looking and I'm like, okay. And a few minutes pass and I'm like,
Did you worry about the aftershock?
apparently there was like 12. Did you
Oh,
feel
I
any?
didn't feel any of those.
Oh, well, Glendale, as far as I know, didn't feel the earthquake.
All right. Well, there we go. Yesterday was full of weak shit. I'm just kidding.
Right.
Wild weekend, though.
Just no one wins this dick measuring contest. You're both small as shit. Just kidding. It's back to school time, and I know the lists are long. School supplies, new shoes, clothes, maybe a little something for yourself. I suggest you download the Rakuten app and get cash back on everything on your list. Rakuten is the smartest way to save money when you shop. You can get cash back at over 4,200 stores like Target, Shein, Nordstrom, Nike. Rakuten makes back-to-school shopping easy and fun. You can also save money on everything from beauty items to electronics to home essentials, dining, and so much more. Membership is free, and we all know how much I love free. It's also very easy to sign up. If I can do it myself, you definitely can too. So start shopping at Rakuten.com or get the Rakuten app to start saving today. Your cash back really adds up. I've got to say that my mad skills in the kitchen are surprising everyone, including myself. But I'll let you in on one little secret. I have some serious help in the form of HelloFresh. I'm completely obsessed. HelloFresh has turned me into a gourmet chef, in my own mind at least. HelloFresh ships pre-portioned ingredients with step-by-step instructions right to your front door. I don't have to worry about meal planning or grocery shopping, and that's kind of the whole point. And HelloFresh offers 40 recipes to choose from every single week, and their fast and fresh recipes are ready in just 15 minutes or less. They send quality proteins and fresh produce. I just made the most delicious mushroom flatbread with Gouda cream sauce and Parmesan. Everyone loved the meal, including Ocean, so it's definitely getting ordered again. So when you need dinner fast, don't open that delivery app. Think HelloFresh. 15 minutes or less, and you'll have a yummy dinner on your table. Plus, HelloFresh is 25% cheaper than most takeout. So go to HelloFresh.com/50Lala and use code 50Lala for 50% off plus free shipping. That's HelloFresh.com/50Lala and use code 50Lala to get 50% off plus free shipping. HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit. All right, so by the way, today was supposed to be a Disney day. All right, I booked out. We had Stassi's podcast up and ready to go. And then Bethenny Frankel decides to come out with a 3-part podcast with Raquel. So in honor of her doing this, I did as much research as Bethenny Frankel did for that podcast, which was absolutely fucking none. I didn't listen to it. Seemed like a lot. I only listen to like my own podcast or like murder podcasts, to be honest. So
As you should.
I only saw notes. Did you listen to it, Jess?
I did. I listened to all 3 parts.
Okay, I heard it was like 40 minutes of ads and maybe 20 minutes, or maybe I got that mixed up, and like 20 minutes of interview.
Yeah, it was frustrating. But
It was?
Yeah.
With the ads, you couldn't skip through them?
No, the interview was frustrating.
Okay, tell me why, because I didn't listen. I do have some notes, but just tell me what you gathered from listening.
She didn't do research, which was disappointing. Because it's like, it's one thing to be Howie. We love Howie. But like, yeah, Howie's not a Bravo guy. But then to be Bethenny, it's like she's in the world. I feel like she's a smart woman. She should have known, maybe she did know and didn't care, but what it would take, the research that she should have put behind this interview. Scandival was huge. People went back and watched season after season. It was such a thing. And Bethenny was like kind of doing the research while she was interviewing Rachel. And there was a clear motive that Bethenny had, which is understandable. The reality reckoning, I want to hear about. Bethenny clearly, she had an agenda, and she kept bringing things back to like this reality reckoning. And it was like, that's great. Look, I want to hear all about that, Bethenny. And I want to hear what Raquel or Rachel, whatever, what she has to say. I do, but it didn't work together. I want to hear, just because I don't agree with what she did, and I didn't agree with a lot of what she said. There are things that she talked about, mental health, emotionally, how she felt. I want to hear that. Dig deep. If you're going to come out and do an interview, tell us. Ask the right questions. And guess what else I want to hear about? Reality reckoning. If reality stars can get treated better or they're being treated unfairly, tell me about it. Tell me how we can help change the industry. But these two together did not work. It's like Bethenny wasn't asking the question. She kept bringing it back to like reality reckoning. I feel like Raquel was like, things weren't matching up that she was saying, and she maybe would have dug deeper if the right questions were asked. I think her and her team maybe thought it was going to be, I think maybe she got a little bamboozled and didn't realize that it was going to be such a Bethenny agenda. Anyway, it just didn't work together. It could have been a hit, and it wasn't.
It was a hit.
No,
a lot of people listen. It wasn't a hit. Like, it didn't hit, but it was a hit.
Okay, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
You know,
yeah.
people went and they listened, which amazing. And I say all the time that there are going to be moments where our voice is all we have. We have all been able to go onto a platform, whether it's our own or someone else's, to share our side of any story, right? Raquel absolutely has that right. And I'm happy that she finally got to take advantage of a giant platform to tell her story. I only saw clips, and what I gathered from it was Bethenny completely exploited that girl yet again.
Which is the total, goes
She-
against everything she's preaching.
Exactly. To me, she sat there and said, you know what? This girl is going to be easy to manipulate because I'm Bethenny Frankel. She's floundering. She's going to be easy to manipulate. Her story is crazy, even though she brought it upon herself. And this is going to be the perfect way for me to place her in the narrative that I'm trying to create. It was actually really sad to me because I really liked Bethenny Frankel. I felt like everything she said always made sense. She was a great arguer. She was extremely intelligent, what she built. And then with this, it was like, we're all over the place, and I think someone needs to intervene because I don't even think you know what's going on with reality, not just reality TV. I don't think that reality television is for everybody. It is a very intense environment. If you are not mentally tough as fuck, it can break you. It definitely can. Now, to say that Raquel was the victim of something, I don't know. What I do know is you made a choice to sleep with your best friend. She says they weren't that close. Your best friend's partner of 10 years. Okay, you did not have to do that. No one was forcing you to do it. No one asked you to do it. So it doesn't make any sense. I felt like Bethenny really tried to push her in a certain direction. And Raquel being someone who, I don't know if she got a diagnosis from that facility or not, she's very easy to manipulate. And you put words out there and she's like, yeah, that's how I feel. And it's like, but you don't. You're being told to feel a certain way and you're being guided in a direction that I don't think is healthy for you. I don't know why anyone would allow her to do that interview.
She needs to take a lot of time. She needs to take 2 years for herself. She's vulnerable. And
She's very vulnerable right now.
Yeah.
For her, in my opinion, just get away from all of it and restart your whole life.
I'm all about being a voice for the voiceless. But we're all grown-ass people who a contract is placed in front of us. We know the drill. We know what we're signing up for. We're signing up to show our real lives. I remember going to producers saying something is not right and then thinking I was crazy. They're like, that's not happening. None of it was on TV. The hope was to get away with it. Right?
Yes, and unless I missed it.
Was it to get away with it?
I think that in my mind, and again, I was not there, in my mind, there was a solid plan that there was going to be a breakup that happened between Ariana and Sandoval, and then they would come out and say, we spent a lot of time together and we actually think that we have something more, and then everyone's hands would be clean, and it would seem like some flawless, segue into a new relationship.
Yeah.
That's what I think. That's my opinion.
The part about Graham was, I know I'm going to get heat for this, that was pretty upsetting to me because the things she was saying weren't adding up. She was like, making all these excuses and he bites and we did this and then this happened. Oh my God, you made all the wrong choices. The choices she was saying she was making, and then she was like, well, James isn't fit to be a dog dad. It's like you made a really you made a million awful choices, but you're saying this stuff with Graham and it's not adding up. And that was I don't know why it was so upsetting for me.
Well, it's very upsetting. And, there's two things happening on what I've seen, right? The clips, what I've read online. There's a piece that is about perspective, right? James is X, Y, and Z as a dog owner. Graham does this because of that perspective. Ariana and I weren't that close. Ariana says they were very close. Perspective. As an outsider, y'all seemed close, right? But it's all about everyone's point of view. Give Them Lala is sponsored by AG1, the daily foundational nutrition supplement that helps support whole body health. If you're wondering where I'm getting all my extra energy lately, it's thanks to AG1. I started drinking AG1 usually first thing in the morning, and I think it's the best thing I've ever done for my physical health so far this year. I wanted something that would help my energy and my overall health, and I didn't want to double fist handfuls of vitamins and pills to do it. AG1 is a powder. I mix a scoop in a glass of water, and all I do is drink. This part might surprise you. It tastes so good. It's not chalky, and it doesn't have that weird aftertaste. and I'm honestly already feeling the benefits. I have so much more energy, so I'm not completely wiped out after a long day of filming. I love that part. Like I said, I put 1 scoop in water every day, and that 1 scoop gives me 75 minerals, vitamins, and probiotics. And all of that is going to start showing in my skin, my hair, my nails. That's going to be the best part. I feel like my nails are already stronger. AG1 also has these single serving packets, which I can toss into my bag and take with me when I travel to places like Palm Springs or really anywhere. It's super convenient. Self-care is very important, and we should all take it very seriously. And this is just one of the ways I treat myself and my body. So if you want help taking ownership of your health, try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase. Go to drinkag1.com/Lala. That's drinkag1.com/Lala. drinkag1.com/Lala. Check it out today. I just learned Discover credit cards do something pretty awesome. At the end of your first year, they automatically double all the cash back you've earned. That's right, everything you earned. Doubled. All the cash back from eating at your favorite soup dumpling restaurant? Doubled. All the cash back from that trip where you sort of learned how to snowboard? Also doubled. And the best part, you don't have to do anything ridiculous to get it. Nope, Discover does it automatically. Seriously though, see the terms and check it out for yourself at discover.com/match. There were things that she was then saying, and this is another reason why I didn't feel like I wanted to break down every single thing, because in my opinion, it's time for all of us to disengage, right? And let her go and live her life and hopefully continue the help that she needs. But there were things that she was then saying that were not perspective. It was, this is a flat out lie, and I can't imagine that you believe what you're saying. So this part says, the following day, Lala and Christina came into my hotel room. She's talking about the Oliver situation. And they were like, oh my God, Raquel, that was amazing last night. You were reality TV ratings gold. You killed it. Like, so funny. I can't believe you. You did it. You're the best. That never happened. Raquel that night, after she said, good thing you don't have a man, went to her bedroom, went to sleep. The next morning, when you guys see her come into our room and she sits down and feels embarrassed, that was the first time we had seen her. There was no, we came into her room, told her she was reality TV ratings gold. This never happened. And this is not perspective, this is fact.
Yeah.
No one ever said this to you. Ever. Okay? Cut to the next thing. Raquel says when she considered returning for season 11, that she asked for equal pay with Tom and Ariana and asked the network to reimburse her for her treatment. I'm not going to speak about asking for reimbursement for the treatment. I don't know. That doesn't affect me. There was no way that she was going to come in here and think that she was going to be rewarded with a paycheck. And Bethenny can say whatever she wants.
And that's why I think she was, like, that's why I could see
rewarded with a paycheck for what you did, because that's not how this works, okay? No matter what you do, the pay is the pay, all right? Send it to Daryl. The next thing she says is that I purchased my home with send it to Daryl money, and I stole the house out from under Brock.
That I laughed. I laughed at
but
that.
This is what I mean. This is where it's like, okay, share your perspective on things. But once you start combining your point of view with things that are blatant lies, you are getting a muddy situation. No one can trust what you're saying. And the only reason I knew about the home was because Barack called me and said, you got to get to Palm Springs today. The house next door is for sale.
I remember the day. They were like, get down here now. You and your mom had to literally get in the car and drive that day because Sheena and Brock was like, you got to get here now.
Brock and Sheena were next door while I traveled for 2 hours, buttering up the owners, being like, my friend wants this house. So what are you talking about? And I did not purchase the home with Send It to Daryl money. Okay? Send It to Daryl didn't exist. I bought the home. My business manager was like, La, I really don't want you to buy this. You want a home in LA, and this is going to make it so that, like, your budget is not as big for your home in LA. And I said, fuck the LA home. I want this house. I'm getting it. I need a retreat. So I bought it. Cut to, because my team, they're very conservative because they know I likes my money and I don't want to go broke anytime soon or ever. So I told him I'm just going to have to work a little bit harder.
It was a concerning thing for her to say because I knew, okay, she didn't misunderstand anything. No one told her this. So this is just a blatant lie. And that's when it got like a little concerning. Nobody, like, it's not like Brock was like, well, I was going to buy it. No, that's why I was like, when I heard that, I like laughed. And then I'm like, oh, she's just like making stuff up. I don't understand what's happening.
She's just throwing shit on the wall, seeing what
And
sticks.
seeing what sticks. I don't know if people told her this. If she's, my thing with her is she talks about, I want to get it right. I think the most disturbing thing is when I sent out the cease and desist from my litigator to all of the cast to not share the video that was taken without my consent. Lala decided to use that and be like, oh my God, don't contact me directly. Contact my attorney, Daryl. And then she started making these sweatshirts that said, send it to Daryl. I made money because I say funny shit.
Off of what you said out of your mouth.
Right. And by the way, I didn't even think it was that funny. But then I see Bravo fan pages creating Daryl merch. And I'm like, no, this is something I said. So I'm going to make the merch. And y'all are spelling his name wrong. So I'm going to also fix
correctly.
that as well. For her to say, like, everyone capitalized off of this, you could have too. You could have made shirts that said, Captain, still your man. I don't give a damn. I'm about to bang your man. You could have made sweatshirts that said, good thing you don't have a man. Hello. I would have bought that.
Yeah?
That would have been funny if you bought that and were wearing it around, yes.
There were so many things. You can't be upset when people decide to make moves and capitalize on a moment that's never going to come around again. I got bills to pay. I did a funny rant. And guess what? It hit. I deleted it 9 minutes later, and it still hit.
Yep.
That's not disturbing. That's called being a smart person. And what angers me the most is she was so many people's favorite. And she had such a brilliant idea about this like line she wanted to start. And I was like, I have an amazing place that could help you get that started. Fabrics, different designs, textiles, whatever, you name it. Like, let's do this. And you chose when you were at a crossroads, you could have gone one way or the other and you decided to go the other. And the only person to blame is you. You can point the finger all day long. The ultimate decision was up to you. And I don't feel that she is someone who fully understands like consequences, the way you move. Like to say that it's disgusting that Graham is being used as a storyline. Bitch, what are you talking about? We're filming our real lives.
You gave him
You gave your dog up. James was called. It's happening during filming. We are filming our real lives.
She said she thought that happened as to try and entice her to come back on, the show is what I heard. So I was like, huh.
It's a travesty that she didn't end up coming back because I'm not going to say too much because we're in production. She should have come back. I think she would have been very surprised. And instead, she went and did this. She was manipulated yet again by someone who says they hate Bravo. Well, it's sure paying your bills still.
Yeah.
Like, what even is Skinny Girl?
Yeah.
All I know you for now. Like, what is Be Strong? What is Skinny Girl? All the things I looked up to. Now I look at you as like some girl who's like, I hate Bravo. And every other day you're talking about Bravo and bringing and exploiting Bravo celebrities.
Mm-hmm.
I'm allowed to do that because I love Bravo. Give Them Lala is sponsored by BetterHelp. Sometimes in life, we're all faced with really tough choices, and the path forward isn't always clear. Whether you're dealing with decisions around your career, your relationships, or anything else, therapy helps you stay connected to what you really want while you navigate life, so you can move forward with confidence and excitement. Trusting yourself to make decisions that align with your values is like anything. The more you practice it, the easier it gets. So if you're thinking of starting therapy, you should give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, so it's convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Let therapy be your map with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/GTL today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/GTL.
Well, I just have to say, number one, 2 things I got out of that. Number one, I hope to God Bethenny paid Raquel for that interview. Number
I
one.
bet she didn't. And then when people started saying, like making comments about that, she probably did.
Okay. And number 2, I think Raquel is probably most upset about not being in the Uber One as Good as Gold commercial. Let's be honest. That was a hit.
That
I
song
think
did slap.
That
Was that in the same time?
It was, yeah.
Yes.
It was like, yes.
Okay.
Everything started popping off when our show became very, very well known.
And she said she brings you, Bethenny said, did anyone reach out to you? And Lala said, or she said, yeah, Lala did. She didn't give an opinion on it. She just said Lala DM'd me or texted me and said, I'm here if you need an ear or something. So that was something she said about you. She didn't say she loved it. She didn't say she hated it. She just stated it and moved on.
Raquel is who she is. I think everyone needs to put their weapons down, let her go and do what she needs to do. She's clearly got Bethenny Frankel guiding her, and I think you just keep them at bay.
Mm.
You don't want the smoke. Once things start getting a little too hyphy, it's like, oh. It's like if someone comes at you flailing their arms, you're like, oh, shit. Oh, shit.
Not flailing their arms.
The flailing arms.
Oh.
I'm happy that the silver lining is Raquel got a chance to have her voice heard. We all deserve that right. Even if you didn't like what she said, we all get that right to use our voice. Okay, I want to jump to what our relief. Well, your aches first, because I want to hear about your ache. And then the relief.
Me first?
Yeah, because I got to get to freaking Disney. My kid's ready.
Okay. I thought we were going to talk about Roni. I was like, I'm ready.
No,
Okay.
no Roni this week. Sorry, guys. We'll recap next week.
Love
2
it.
episodes.
Okay, ache, the obvious, I'm just going to state really quick in the list, is obviously Lolita, then the fires and the weather because of the climate. Everything is heartbreaking. I had a good cry over Lolita. That's a thing. That's heartbreaking. But just for this morning, why I was very late to this podcast was because my dog is doing this thing now. I love her. She's my baby, but she's 8 years old, and she sits and on walks and doesn't move. And she lays down, especially if we're blocks away, a mile away from my house. If she realizes we're turning around to go back, she sits and she does not. I can do whatever I need to. And I'm like, we got to go. I've tried treats. She does not move. So much so that I have to physically pick her up. She's a little thick. Love her for it.
Baby got back.
Yeah, baby got back, and she's like 40 pounds, and trudge her through the streets. And she did that this morning, and I know it's because yesterday she was inside a lot because of the rain, and
she didn't want to go home.
Yeah.
she didn't want to go home, and I don't know what to do. So if you're a dog trainer or no, DM me, please, because she's a little bitch right now, and I love her, but she's just wilding out. And that's my ache, and my relief is, oh God, I had so many aches. My relief is, doing this with you guys. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't have
I
a
really-
relief.
You
Today.
have no relief?
I have so many reliefs, but it was like there were just.
What about today that it's going to be an easy day because we're going to be at Disney? That's a relief. Because you had a mega Friday, remember?
Oh, yes.
We can't talk about
We can't talk about it, but my relief is having a special thing with the Birmingham family on Friday. And
Yes.
that was fun, and I can't wait for you all to see it.
Right.
I'm excited too. TT, you're up. What's the ache and what's the relief?
The ache was, I think, the weather.
Not your dog busting wide
can't-
open
I
with an
mean,
incision.
It's like every week. Last week it was her. The week before that, I'm pretty sure it was a fucking cat.
Yeah.
So
This
I'm gonna
podcast
switch
is
it up.
all about getting vulnerable.
I know, but it's like I'll try to pick something else. But I guess Bernice, she's an ache.
Okay.
With that is one. And then the weather, because we put all of our furniture like inside, moved a whole bunch of shit, and that was an ache.
Okay.
And nothing hit. You know, like if it was windy, I'd have been like, okay, glad we did it. But we have piles of shit in our place now with no wind.
Yeah.
So ache is, it wasn't as cool as I thought it was going to be. The tropical storm. I was
Yeah.
really wanting that hurricane.
Oh, God.
Uh-oh.
Right? I was looking forward to it.
Everyone who's actually had like a crazy
crazy
hurricane is going to
hurricane.
be like,
No,
please
no.
fuck off. No, you don't want that. We're from California.
I know, right? I thought I was the one smiling at the beach.
Yeah.
Ready to go surfing.
But my relief is Disneyland today. That really
Oh,
is it.
hell yeah. I'm so
I'm
hyped
hoping
on
that
it.
with the weather, like everybody's not there.
I
and
know,
I'm just
you and
gonna
me both.
run these lines.
I'm going to run these lines too.
Yeah, like I'm gonna sprint
I'm
through
running
them.
train on these rides, dude.
Running
Oh,
train on the
Fuck
ride.
yeah.
Totally.
So that is my relief.
Love it. My ache of the week is also Lolita. She was one of the longest captive orcas did I say that right?
Longest captive, yeah.
Yeah. At Miami Seaquarium. There was footage a few years ago when a hurricane was hitting Florida. Everyone was evacuating, and there's like an aerial shot of her just sitting there waiting for the storm in the tiniest tank you've ever seen. It's basically a swimming pool. A few months ago, we all got word that Lolita was being moved to a seaside sanctuary, and it was like the biggest deal in the world, right? She was ripped away from her family, put at the Miami Seaquarium. Everyone kept saying, like, we cannot wait 12 to 16 months. Like, she's going to die. And that's how long they were saying it was going to take. We all tried signing things, and sure enough, we didn't get her out in time. So she did pass over the weekend. The second orca to pass away within the last week that was in captivity. Her brother died because he continued to ram his head into a wall until he died. It's disgusting. Please stop going there. I'm begging you. Stop going to any place who uses these animals as like entertainment. Are you joking? What, you need to stand on an orca and have it wave to you? How depressing is your fucking life? Where you're like, my life is made. Did you see the dolphin
Yeah.
at me? God, like
It's
watch
so
a
gross.
YouTube video.
Yeah, go to a fucking water park.
Go to a water park on like a water slide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, the relief of the week is that Send It to Daryl was being mentioned on the #1 podcast in the world. Just Be.
Send it to Daryl. ShopLalaKent.com.
No, I was thinking about it. I was like, damn. They just talked about Send It to Daryl. And then she posted #1 podcast in the world. And I was like, holy shit, this is awesome.
And you linked the merch in your story.
Hell yeah, I did. Obviously. You usually have to pay for spots like that.
I know.
All those people, all those ad spots had to pay. Not me. I was all up in her mouth for free.
Like a dentist.
It was amazing. Anyway, I'm so happy that we got to come in and record this because I felt like there was time-sensitive content. So I hope you enjoy the episode. I'm going to head to Disneyland with my boo-boo. Happy hump day. Stay safe, and I will catch y'all next week with Stassi Schroeder. Thank you guys so much for watching another episode of the Give Them Lala podcast. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, and I will catch you next week.